And just like that, we got some big breaking news from DC Studios. Well, not directly from them, but multiple insiders, and also Deadline is reporting that everything we're about to talk in this video is true. So let's talk about James Bond, Daniel Craig, playing Sergeant Rock. So this is not the first time I am talking about the character of Sergeant Rock, and it's not the first time I'm talking about him in the last month. As we heard multiple times that there was movement on the character of Sergeant Rock, and that they possibly even had a director and producers and maybe even a script in hand to produce this film, which is not a film that was originally announced by DC Studios. Now, if you're not familiar with Sergeant Rock, let me quickly give you a breakdown. So Sergeant Rock, as some of you may know, is a character that dates all the way back to the late 1950s, first appearing in Our Army of War issue number 83 in June of 1959, with of course the publication behind the character being Dccomics, and the character's full name being Franklin John Rock. Now, in an effort to try to be a little bit more competitive with the likes of Marvel Comics, a lot of people see the character of Sergeant Rock as DC's answer to Captain America. And while there are some similarities, it's not really comparable at all, I would say. Now, of course, the character's history does go all the way back to World War II, where the character was simply just called The Rock. He was a member of the infantry U.S. Army in the European theater of war, and subsequent issues and miniseries and retcons would add in a little bit more context about the character and, of course, his importance to the war and how he enlisted after the events of Pearl Harbor. The most recent take that really reinvented the character comes in 2009, which was a 6-issue miniseries called Sergeant Rock: The Last Battalion, Rock's Unit. Here, they would further flesh out the character's history, connection to the DC universe, and of course, his integration into the bigger DC universe as more of a mainstay, if you will. Now, contrary to what some people believe, he does not actually have any super abilities or anything like that. He is just an expert marksman and good at hand-to-hand combat. Although they have toyed with the idea that he's almost superhero and super strength levels that could compare him to the likes of Metahuman, he's still relatively just a normal human, although he does have a couple of gadgets that do help him out. Over the decades, the character has also appeared in other interpretations of the DC universe, along with the famous Justice League cartoon where he actually had a little arc in there. And at one point, there was even deep discussions, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was in talks, or according to some, attached to star as Sergeant Rock in a film based on the character. This ultimately did not end up happening, obviously, as we do not have a film based on Sergeant Rock, but ever since then, every few years, a new person shows up on Hollywood's radar, pitching or attached to a Sergeant Rock project that never gets off the ground. So maybe, sometime soon, we will see him in all his live-action glory, fully realized and delivering what fans of the character have resonated with for decades. Now that we got that out of the way, enter Daniel Craig. Yes, James Bond himself. I know it's weird to be talking about Daniel Craig as a character that a lot of people don't recognize, but here we are. Specifically, that director Luca Guadagnino has been attached to the film, and apparently he's the one that's really courting the likes of Daniel Craig to star in the film, and this was recently reported by multiple outlets, the most notable and reliable one being Jeff Snyder. So if this is the case, I would assume that this is going to be a film that's a lot cheaper to produce, and a film that they can get out a lot faster than something that's super CG heavy, and obviously way different for the entire DC universe. So call me interested and intrigued, because I would like to see what they can do with the character and how to integrate him into the DCU. Well, everybody, thank you for watching that video, and as always, you can like, subscribe, share, do whatever you will. Check out the recommended video that's popped up somewhere on the screen, and also if you would like additional content, including more discussions and more unfiltered content, check out what we offer to the members section, which has new videos going up all the time.